Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker Down Under. It's Dacob in Melbourne here. I am traveling in Australia, so I'm here with my little pumpkin, Louis, gifted to me by Jessie Style. Hi Jessie, thank you so much. And listen, I'm going to talk about Louis Vuitton, particularly the monogram canvas, Damier Ben as well, but we're going to talk about the basic of it all, how basic this is, okay? Now, you know, this is a touchy topic, obviously, because a lot of people have a lot to say when it comes to the canvas looking basic and this and that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob, all spelled together there as well, for extra perks and extra videos that do not come to my YouTube channel. And thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream every Saturday on my main channel. You're all invited to join the chats. Queue in the chats. Hi guys. So also, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Amelia Rose Closet. Her channel is amazing. I will link my girl down below. She has made a wonderful video on this topic. Gosh, I think it's been over a year now. And a very, she put it to the point. She said very clearly, listen, you guys, these things are not basic. She did push a lot on the fact that they cost a lot. So obviously, you know, they kind of, by costing a lot, I guess that also makes them not basic. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's not about the money, because there's a lot of expensive things that really are basic out there. There's also a lot of affordable things that are really basic out there. And there's a lot of expensive things that are not basic, and a lot of affordable things that are not basic. But in particular, because we've been talking throughout the live stream together, just before I started filming this segment, we've been talking about, you know, Louis Vuitton. And I said, you know, when Jessie gifted me the little Louis pumpkin, hi Jessie, Jessie Style. And I said, I called him Louis. He's a little squishy pumpkin, super cute. I named him Louis, and he travels with me everywhere. And he loves to sit on the Louis pieces, you know, or he loves to kind of live inside of them. And then he kind of just like peeks out of them. And Louis Vuitton in general is a conversation that we had. And I also have a Louis Vuitton scrunchie, by the way, at the moment. So we were talking about the Chanel price increase, the latest Chanel price increase that hit the UK and Europe in August 2022. And I said, you know, I said what I said in that video. You should go check out that video. But I also concluded kind of by saying, you know, how certain things, comparatively speaking, little tiny small leather good from Chanel is the same exact price as the Louis Vuitton Keepall 50. Tabitha. I call my Louis Vuitton 50 Tabitha. So Tabitha costs the same amount as this little bag. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? They both have the same price. This from Chanel and a whole full-blown 50 Keepall. So there's the fact that certain luxury brands, and by all means, for me, my Olympus when it comes to fashion luxury brands, it is Chanel, Hermes, Dior, and Louis Vuitton. Those are the four for me. Louis, however, has maintained, even though they also go up in price, they have maintained a certain price level that for these four luxury brand standards, it's still affordable. You know what I mean? I might take it with a grain of salt, but pardon me. Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, just my opinion, not rooted in facts or truths. Everything's alleged, right? So, but what I'm saying is the quality, at least, is still there. For me, it is. I have not had issues with Louis Vuitton quality. You know, once I purchased some, yeah, maybe a stitch is off. I mean, I had to exchange the kirigami pochette because the last stitch was kind of pressed into the canvas, but they exchanged it immediately and it was all fine. That was that one-time thing. But what I'm saying is, with all the pieces that I have, I even have the Poche 15 here. The pieces that I buy, I use a lot, and I don't baby them, and they really are there for me, and they help me. They work for me perfectly throughout years and decades. And that alone, the fact that they're so durable, that alone makes them sustainable. That alone makes them not basic. The fact that these pieces accompany you throughout your life on a daily basis and you don't have to particularly baby them makes them not basic. It makes them incredibly practical, and it makes them incredibly durable. It makes them also incredibly lovable. These pieces are so lovable. They help you out, and they make your life easier, and they embellish it as well. How can that be basic? That is so not basic. That is so the opposite of basic. Exactly, Ryan. This makes them iconic. True, the price has remained reasonable, says Famika. I mean, obviously, they're also, Louis is going to have another price increase just like they all do. They all run after each other and have more and more price increases. But I'm just saying, a piece like this costs you 400 or 500. If it were Chanel, it would cost you 2,000-3,000. Yes, it's still expensive, even if it's 400 or 500, but it's not 2,000-3,000, and it's actually usable. It doesn't peel or fall apart like Chanel's 22 bags, or like most of their current leathers at the moment available in their stores, produced from spring summer 22 onwards. So Gloria Recino says that visual difference is jaw-dropping, right? Right? It really helps us put things in perspective. Let's do it again, because I'll never stress enough to repeat myself. There's more leather because of the strap and all of the leather going all the way around the bag and this, and also on the side. So added up, there's more leather on this bag than there is on this bag. We all agree, right? It's kind of easy to see. So, and yet, this bag costs the same amount as this one. You guys, you can't make this shit up. I mean, the shoulder strap alone has more leather than that Chanel small leather good. Anyway, Jason, did you spray that with Apple Guard? No, I'm letting it age with normal oxygen. It's traveling with me. It's traveling all across the world with me, and every scar or scuff or water drop it gets, it's a token. It's a memory from a certain place I've been to, and this is how I want to live with Tabitha. I called my bag Tabitha. You see what I mean? Like, I didn't give my Chanel bags names. They don't give me so much pleasure and joy like Tabitha does. Because I'm scared of using them for the most part. Anyway, all I'm saying is, how can something that brings you so much, how can you say this is, and then somebody also mentioned Audrey Hepburn with her Speedy 25. Well, back then the size was a little bit, not exactly 25, but yeah, the Speedy. How can that look basic? It's like the epitome of elegance, you guys. Now, I understand somebody can overdo it, and you can turn this into a cringe fest for sure. But, what is basic? Listen, in Australia, it's kind of cold. It can get chilly. Not too cold, but chilly, and I didn't really have the right jacket with me. So I went to Uniqlo, and I bought this little Sherpa jacket. The Sherpa is in a dark green. They have different colorways. I like dark green because it reminds me of Pierre Cardin's dark green. It's like a mossy green. It doesn't have any logos on it. It is so practical, so fluffy, so comfy, so cozy. I put my Vivienne Westwood brooches on it, a pin, a brooch. I have a little Chanel brooch there, my scarab earring, my Louis scrunchie. To me, this is not basic. To me, this is elegant. To each their own. I mean, I know some of you might be saying, well, girl, if that's elegant. Okay, fine. You have your definition of elegance, and that is also completely fine. But to call something basic just for the mere reason that it has a certain pattern on it or that it has a certain simplicity to it, you're missing the mark. You're missing the mark. Letty says, I love my Louis Vuitton pieces. I don't care if people think they're basic. They have quality and versatility. To me, that's sophisticated. I agree with you. I agree with you. Oh, Bimblak says, I love Uniqlo. I love Uniqlo as well. Honestly, I've been walking through different luxury boutiques in Melbourne these past days. Nothing tickled my fancy, really. And if I've seen stuff online that I liked, and then I asked in the boutique if they had those things, they usually didn't have them or they didn't have my size. But Uniqlo is the only shop I keep going back to and finding stuff that I really like. They're tailored nicely, they're cut nicely, they're comfortable, they suit my personality. Just saying. So, anyway, just to reiterate, because I've been hearing right before we started filming this segment, somebody say, "Oh, people still say Louis Vuitton is basic." I keep hearing this. I keep hearing that the monogram is basic. And honestly, you guys, if you're out and about with your monogram piece, if somebody tells me, "Oh, you're so basic for having the monogram packing cube," now I'll say, "Well, thank you for the compliment." When did being basic start meaning something negative? This is actually the conversation I wanted to have. Now I'm getting to the point. When did anyone give basic a negative connotation? The person who did that should go to jail, in my opinion. When did basic become a negative? When? When did basic become something negative? Quite frankly, with all the trash most of these luxury brands are churning out these days, I find it a rare beauty to experience something more basic when a brand actually has the guts and when the brand actually has the savoir-faire to reduce. In these times where literally only trash is being sold, for a brand to find the right path aesthetically, design-wise, and quality-wise to produce simplicity, that to me is the epitome of modern day luxury and groundbreaking design. Think about it. Think about it. Gloria says, love these convos, Dacob. Thank you. If we all had the same taste, it would be a dull world. I completely agree with you. But there's so many different levels to basic, There can be 50 different people out there all liking reduced basic cuts and still each and every one of those 50 people looking different while wearing them. Letty says, basic to me means essential. Something that's with you all the time and proves its craftsmanship, timeless, is elegance. Well said, I agree. Heliotrop says, my aunt is using the same Louis Vuitton wallet for 27 years. Only a few months ago, the wallet started to look worse inside. Basic? No. Quality? Hell yeah. Yab is applauding. Thank you. Jason says, yes to T-Pal. I missed that chat. Famika says, yes, Debbie. People say it as a negative, but people should not use the term basic as a negative. And if they do, well, then that's on them. That's their mistake. Well said, Dacob, says Denmark. Lisa says, thank you, Denmark. Lisa says, first of all, you need a good job to afford these bags. $3K for a standard Louis Nothing to sneeze at. Exactly. But I just wanted to be very clear about this. I'm not talking about money here. You know, as I said at the beginning of this video, you can spend a lot of money for something really, really ugly. And you can also spend a very small amount of money for something really ugly. And also vice versa. You can spend very little money for something very, very beautiful. And you can also spend a lot of money for something very beautiful. But same applies to basic. Since for me, basic is not a negative. And I do not give the negative connotation to basic. I don't care. If somebody tries to put me down, you know, while I'm, you know, using my Louis thing with my packing cube for my makeup, by the way, I love this. This is the best thing. While I'm filming, I always have it next to me and it's always open. And I just grab my makeup when I have to retouch. It's just the most practical thing ever. So if somebody calls me out for being basic, for having this, I'm like, thank you for the compliment. I love being basic. So that's all. The people who call it basic probably carry Michael Kors bags. But again, Jason, we don't need to go into these, you know what I mean? Because it's like you're judging, you know? You don't need that. You're amazing. You're awesome. You don't need to belittle someone just because they belittled you. You got to belittle them back. Don't stoop to their level. Don't stoop to their, you know? I've always had an issue with this and I've fallen victim to it myself. So, you know, I'm not immune to this either. Especially, you know, as a gay person, you're always raised in a very tough environment, and gay kids grow up to be quite street smart because you're avoiding bullies beating you up, and you've been called names your whole life. So we have a thick skin, but we often fall, I want to say, victim to bullying back the bully. And they win if we do that. So, and I'm guilty as charged. I've done that as well. Like when somebody points a finger at you and says, oh, you know, like, oh, look at you, you basic, you know, B. And then you look back at them, like, well, have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately? You know, and you literally give them back their same poison. Now, I know that this is something that kind of in some cultural contexts might work, but we got to stop because there's no ending it if we do that, if we fall victim to that type of trolling, you know. Jason says, yes, Dacob, you know, I go in it too hard sometimes. I know, Jason, and I love you a lot. And that's why I'm also saying this, because you're often misunderstood because you're very reactional and you say things from the heart. If you're hurt and if somebody you love gets hurt, you react immediately, fully and passionately. I know how you react in the chats. And I know you mean well, but I've been like that. You know, it happens to me as well, that I'm just like, I go ballistic. And then I'm like, well, hold on. I just overreacted, and I literally reacted the same way the bully reacted, and that's not going to take me anywhere either. Exactly, Famika. Too much judgment towards others. And the second that somebody points their finger at you, you know, you have this tendency of like, I know I am, but what are you? You know, I know I am. And I'm like, At a certain point, I think we need the wisdom and we need to grow up and just like say, yeah, okay, sure, I'm basic. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. And moving on. And then they're like, that wasn't meant as a compliment. All right, then thank you for the constructive criticism. That wasn't meant as a constructive criticism. I'm like, well, thank you, nevertheless, goodbye. Moving on. You know, Jason says, yeah, working on that at my job as well. By the way, today's my birthday. Didn't expect you on here today. Oh, happy birthday, Jason. And good to hear that you're working on it. You know, we work on ourselves our whole lives. What's the point of living if you don't work on yourself? So, Jason, congratulations. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm so happy to hear that you're proactive about your own character. We should all be. All of us. All of us. All of us should be. It's a wonderful thing to work on ourselves, you know. Yes, Bim Black, I will do a live stream on Saturday. Well, that's my Sunday. Yes, I will do a live stream on Saturday. you know. Bible believing Christian says, "You're such a breath of fresh air, Dacob, and such a good man. I'm laying here watching this while waiting for kidney surgery tomorrow. So this video is the highlight of my day." Oh my gosh, lots of love to you, sunshine, positive vibes, healing vibes, that everything goes well with the kidney surgery, that everything goes flawless. Sending you all the positive vibes and energy, all of us in the fashion bunker, that you may go through this like water off a duck's back, my dear. You know? So that's what I wanted to say in this video. As you can see, we started off with a basic talk, and look how beautiful something basic can be. Something as basic as love, as basic as appreciating each other, sending each other good vibes, positive vibes, love, understanding, growing together. This is what basic means to me. Because there's nothing more basic than love. There's nothing more simple than love. In order to love, all you got to do is love. It's that basic. Never give up on love, and subscribe.